type shit.
Stop playing with me, Dre. DJ K.
Come on, I'm doing shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with shit. Type shit. Activities. I'm doing shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with shit. Type shit. Activities. Posted up on the island with a bitch. They call me cause I ain't on that dumb shit. Yeah, I'm rich, but act broke with a bitch. Duval day, I really do it for the kids. Getting checks, never gotta work a job. No Viagra, dick still get hard. I can make your auntie swipe a credit card. OG in the game, realest that you ever. Aunties get down on the floor. Show these poor ass hoes how it go. Back it up like Freak Week 94. Is she under 24? It's a no. Come on, I'm doing shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with shit. Type shit. Activities. I'm doing shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with shit. Type shit.
There we go. We good to go. Now, what's up, nieces and nephews? What's good with you on this fine Friday? Hope y'all having a great day. Hope y'all got a great weekend plan. Oh man, got a good, a peaceful show planned for you all today. You know, we're just gonna talk about something that matters. Okay, other stuff I talk about matters, of course, but today this show is for the men, and this show is for the women too. It's for what the men need to look for, and it's for what the women need to strive to be. Now, for some people, it can be too late. I don't believe in the reformed hoe. I don't believe in the reformed hoe. Some guys might can support that. I don't recommend that. Now, I'm not saying that this woman should spend the rest of her life alone, but she's going to have to find a certain quality of man. So today we're talking about the virtuous woman, how to identify a wife, what constitutes a good woman. Because we hear it all the time. Women be like, because I'm a good woman. And I always ask myself, who stamped off on that? Who certified that? Who verified that? You can't say you can't just be a good woman because you proclaim that. There are certain guidelines, certain metrics to constitute being a good woman. And that's being the virtuous one. And it's in the Bible. Now, everybody's not religious, and I get it. You don't have to be religious to understand why the things that the Bible lists as a virtual woman are important things that you would want in a mate. See, Unc 47 years old. Unc been married 22 years. Same woman. 4 kids. Same woman. So there's 2 things I know a lot about. Well, 3 things I know a lot about. Comic books. The military, because I was in the Army for 15 years. And being fucking married. There's a couple things I know a lot about too, but those are the main 3. Comic books, the military, United States Army specifically, and being married. I know a lot about those things. So, out of all the decisions you make in life, right? There's not one that's more important than who you choose to marry and start a family with. The one that's second to that is who you put a baby in. That's extremely important too. Of course, you shouldn't be putting a baby in somebody before you marry them, but it's 2025. I'm not gonna go on those standards from back in the day. I understand the reality of shit is different now, right? So one of the most important decisions you can make is who you marry, who you start a family with, or who you start a family with in general. Because that can make or break you. Who you marry can make or break your mental state, your emotional state, and your financial state. Who you tie your life to, who you create a life with, can destroy you as a man. So it's very important that you know how to identify a virtuous woman, a wife, a wifey, whatever you want to call it, aka a good woman. And for the ladies, it's very important, if you want a certain quality of man, for you to be this wifey material, this virtuous woman. Now, if you not a virtuous woman per se, and you want to become one, I'm not a big proponent of rewinding. Long as you didn't go past a certain level. The honest truth is, it's a point of no return to where you can still become a wife. You can still get a man. Hell, corn stars can get married. But there's a certain point of no return where you're not gonna get a certain type of man. Simple as that. So, especially for the ladies that already crossed that line but have younger daughters, this is for y'all. Don't let your daughters make the mistakes you made. You have to maintain your virtue. One of the things about being a virtuous woman or being a good wife, reputation. As a woman, you have to protect your reputation in these streets. It is crucial that you ain't known as a thought pocket, as a bop, as a pass around, as gang bang Becky. Again, there's a sucker simp of loser that would marry those women, of course. But you got to ask yourself, is that the man you want? Do you want to marry a weak man that accepts and falls for anything? Because if you do, his leading ability is going to be insufficient because he a sucker that fall and accept anything. So a lot of women complain about the weak men they got, not understanding the simple fact that the reason they got a weak man because of the kind of woman they are. Only a weak man would take them serious.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
So, identifying a wife, reputation is important. How she's perceived in the streets by men and by other women. I always tell my sons, first of all, let me give you the guidelines when you're seeking a virtuous woman or a good wife. I always tell my sons, don't date any chick that wasn't raised by both parents and their parents were married. Now, I know that trims the fat in today's society, but it doesn't matter. It's enough out there. Now, I'm not saying her parents being married. None of this stuff is 100%. None of this stuff is going to guarantee you a perfect marriage or the perfect wife. However, it's called risk mitigation. if you get marry a woman or get engaged to a woman that's seen her parents happily married, living together, doing the husband and wife stuff for years, 9 times out of 10, she know what being a wife looks like. It ain't guaranteed, it ain't 100%, it's just risk mitigation. So if you're out there dating and still dating, I would suggest make sure the woman, if her mom and dad weren't married her whole life, at least she had a solid stepdad that been married to her mom, so she can see how marriage goes for the bulk of her life, you know? Another thing, religion or spirituality. She got to be spiritual or religious. I'm religious, I'm a Christian. I prefer the woman be a Christian, but I understand everybody not into Christianity. You might not be into Christianity. You might not be into religion. But if you're looking for a virtuous woman, a certain type of woman, having both of her parents being married, being raised, seeing a healthy family, and her believing in something bigger than herself, whatever that may be, she has to have some kind of spiritual component to herself, some kind of spiritual guidelines, some kind of religious values of behavior and how to conduct yourself in a certain way in today's society, in the life, in the world in general. That is extremely important. If she ain't got that, people that don't have no code, no baseline, usually do any and everything. Now, as you get older in dating, I just want to throw that out there. Beware of the born again thought pockets, okay? Beware of them. That's good for them. If you find the Lord at the end of the road of a lot of penises, a lot of trains, gang bangs, and automobiles, that's awesome for you. I think everybody should change and stop doing things that didn't serve them. However, that change is for you. That change does nothing for me as a man, because you can't ungang bang the gang bang. You can't untrain the train. You can't give back the penises that you have received. Oh my God. Straight up, the virtue's not there. And it's 2025. I'm not saying the virtuous woman of 2025 has to be a virgin. You understand? It'd be awesome if she could, but at a certain age, your chances of finding a virgin are slim. What she can't be, though, is a thought, is a slut bucket, is a bopper, a 304, a pass around. She can't be that. So, reputation is important. Her witnessing healthy relationships growing up, i.e. married parents, is important when you seeking a wife, some wifey material type stuff. Okay. Friends. In family, it's important that she had healthy, positive relationships with friends and family. I find that most people that are always at it and into it with their friends and family don't talk to their friends and family, don't have any friends. Those people usually, in my experience, don't be good people. Not saying their friends and family are important. Let's be clear. Or not saying their friends and family are perfect. Sorry. Let's be clear. However, when you got into it with everybody in your family when you don't have any friends. Sometimes in those situations, you have to look at the common denominator. So that's important. Like a lot of chicks be like, I don't have any friends. That, in my opinion, is a red flag when it comes to picking a wife. It shows that she doesn't know how to maintain long-term, consistent relationships. So how are you going to expect her to maintain a marriage with you, which is a long-term, consistent relationship? Again, not saying if she don't have any friends, it's impossible. We just talking about risk mitigation here. That's it. Risk mitigation. Nothing I says would guarantee you the ideal, the perfect wifey or nothing. But risk mitigation lowers the chance of you getting what you don't desire. Conflict resolution is important. While you're dating this woman, you need to pay attention to how she handles conflict and make sure her conflict resolution style works for you. Now, I'm not saying create conflict to see how she reacts. I think that's weird as fuck and lame to me, to create a fucking situation to purposely make someone mad, aka the shit test. Of course, women do shit tests all the time. They try to purposely make you mad to see how you react. And those women lame as fuck. And if you with a woman and you sense her doing a shit test towards you, I say kick her ass to the curb ASAP.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm not a proponent or supporter of that shit. But it doesn't matter. You don't have to shit test, because when you with someone, there will come times of disagreement. It's just natural because y'all are two different people with two different brains and two different thought processes. So with that said, the conflict will arise. And this is important to you as a man to watch how she resolve it. Do she have the need to be right? Do she know how to agree to disagree? Do she hold grudges? Is she gonna be mad for fucking 2 weeks? Is she one of the people that clams up whenever she's not getting her way? She don't want to talk about it anymore. See, that doesn't fit well with me. My style of conflict resolution is talking it out. Even if we don't agree, even if we agree to disagree, everyone gets an opportunity to get their shit out. If you don't let me get my shit out, we got a problem. Just like when you really got a shit. If you got a shit, but you somewhere you just holding it, your stomach gonna start hurting. Hell, you could die if you don't poop enough. Oh my God. So I gotta get my shit out when it's a conflict going on. But if that person is one of those people that soon as you, especially when you catch them in some shit, nothing more annoying than when a person wronged you. When they wronged you and you trying to see what's up, I don't want to talk about it. That's someone that's got to go. That is not a wife. That is not someone that you can have a long-term relationship with. So we talked about reputation. We talked about being around healthy marriages and healthy relationships, i.e. getting with a chick that both her parents were married and they had a healthy relationship so she can identify and recognize that. We're talking about conflict resolution skills, which is crucial and important. And we also talked about, does she have friends? Does she have family? What's her relationship with friends and family? Do she have any long-term friendships? Again, a person that can't have long-term friendships probably can't have a long-term relationship.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
How supportive is this woman? A good wife, a virtuous woman, has to be supportive. She also have to practice followership. See, on these YouTube streets, all these dudes get up here and yap about leadership. The man's supposed to be the leader. When people say that, it lets me know they never led anything in their life at all. They hark on leadership because it pinpoints the man, and of course that gets you more clicks and views. And I get it. The man should be the leader, and it's important. But there's also a component to leadership that's just as important, but no one likes to talk about because it doesn't target men, and that's followership. That's a thing, got a real definition. If you don't believe me, Google it. And followership is pretty much the ability, desire of the follower and the willingness of the follower to follow. Followership is how well you can follow. How equipped are you at following? You can be the best leader in the world. You can have 5-star general level leadership abilities. But if the person following you is a terrible fucking follower, it's gonna look like you got bad leadership. You can't lead someone that's dead set to do what the fuck they want to do, when they want to do it, regardless of what you say. If it makes sense, none of that, they don't care. You cannot lead someone that wakes up every day set in life to be a certified
5 letters.
1 word.
Bitch!
Asia Janae says examples of what? What part? Like followership? Or yeah, because I've been saying a lot and I just saw that. So I don't know. But let me know what examples of what, and I'll definitely give you some. But when it comes to followership, like I say, I was in the Army 15 years, and I actually led plenty of adults, male, female, all kinds of nationalities, all kinds of sexualities. I took 2 leadership courses, 6 weeks each, and they wasn't about military leadership. That's about leadership in general, and there are different forms of leadership, right? You got the kind where you can tell somebody something one time and they go do it. You got the kind of leadership where you lead it, you tell somebody something and then you work with them and you do it with them. You're working with them. You got another person. If you tell them to do something, you got to come check back on them every fucking 10 minutes. You got other people, you tell them something one time, walk off, they got it. So, you got to adjust your leadership style, honestly, to the personality type of the person. So that's why it's key before you even try to marry and get with somebody and lead them, you got to make sure that your leadership style fits their personality, or their personality is a leadership style that you're willing to do. Of course, I believe in leading by example, but I also couldn't be with a woman that I got to look over her shoulder every time I tell her something to make sure she's doing it and doing it right. I never liked subordinates that I had to do that with. And when I use the word subordinate, don't get triggered. It's just that, you know, if you married, it's God, husband, wife, and children, which makes the woman technically subordinate to the man because she's under him in the grand scheme of the marriage, because at the end of the day, he's the head of the household. Well, that's how it should be. And the reason I say it should be like that, let me make it clear. The reason it should be like that, because if the woman makes the decisions and the man let her, and everything goes belly up and everything fails, they lose the house, they lose the cars, etc., etc., etc. The church, her family, his family, the whole neighborhood is gonna blame the husband. How did you lose your house? How did you lose it? How did y'all go bankrupt? What did your husband? Where your husband? So my point is, if I'm going to take the blame, I might as well have the decision-making power, because responsibility without power is akin to slavery. So followership, let's check it out. Followership is pretty much, if I tell someone to do something and I give them a specific way to do it, and they just go do what the hell they want. They either don't do it or they do it a different way than what I told them, and the shit doesn't go well. It wasn't my leadership that made the shit not go well. It was their followership. That's an example of the importance of followership. If you tell your wife, okay, we got these tax returns, right? I'm gonna take mine and I'm gonna invest in this, this, and this. I need you to take yours and invest in this, this, and this, because I got the scoop that stock finna really rise in this. She says, okay, but I need you to do this by this date. If you don't, it's gonna be too late. The date comes, she doesn't do it. The stock shoots up. Y'all could have made $30,000. Was it your leadership the reason y'all missed out on that money? Or was it her followership? You gave her all the information she needed. She just didn't do it. And in this day and age, especially in relationships, it's really hard to discipline bad followership. The only thing you can do is stop being in a relationship with the person.
Oh my God.
In the military, you got Article 15s, and you can give them punishment. You can make them do extra work. You can take money from them and all that kind of stuff. But if you do any of those things in a relationship, it's some form of abuse, right? It's some form of abuse. Financial abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. But I think bad followership deserves consequences. So yeah, YouTube like to focus on the leaders, the leaders, the leaders, the leaders. Again, because it's target men. It's more marketable to target men. You get less kickback when you talk bad about men, particularly black men. You get less kickback. It's content creators, of course, that talk bad about women all day, every day, but they get the kickback. They might get shut down. They get kicked off TikTok. They get kicked off YouTube. They get flat because there's a lot of single mom raised guys and all women coming at their neck. But you could talk about men because the weak man gonna love it. A lot of women gonna love it, and the men that's not weak are not gonna address it because you know it is what it is. So no one's gonna say nothing about it. Asia says, okay, I told you to buy the stock and you don't. What then? Do you leave? Do I leave or should she leave? Well, first of all, my wife wouldn't be telling me to buy stock. Because as the head of the household, the money management is me. Because like I said before, if we go bankrupt, they're going to blame me. So if she told me to buy stock and I bought it and then the shit didn't make no money, everybody gonna blame me because at the end of the day, it's my responsibility that everybody eat around here. So since we already understand that, the chances of her telling me, now she can suggest, and if her idea makes sense, I'll make the decision to do it. So this is the thing. Let's get into that. A virtuous woman, right? I'm not saying she don't have a voice. I'm not saying a good wife got to be smart, intelligent, and have great ideas. It's just at the end of the day, she needs to be a follower and understand that even though she gave an idea, the final choice of doing the idea is on her husband. Because again, he faces the consequences if said idea is a failure. But you got to get a woman that has ideas, that has a brain, that has a voice, that has an opinion. A lot of people think I be on that so you just gonna make all this. No. If my wife has an idea that's better than mine, we definitely gonna go with it. Also, people don't understand that the most important component of leadership is to be able to delegate. The best leaders know how to look at their people and be like, yo, you good at this, so you take charge on this. It doesn't mean that she's the leader now. She's just taking charge on this. You still leading her. You're like, yo, you better with numbers. You more organized. Baby, you do the tax stuff. You still the leader. She just in charge of that. It's just basic delegating. So you have to find a woman. So nobody like people like to go to the stream. Oh, y'all just want a sheep. Y'all just want a brain dead person. No. Nobody wants a sheep or a brain dead person. What are we gonna do with that? You can't build a legacy. You can't create well-rounded kids. You can't grow with someone that ain't got no ideas. Because I'm not always gonna have the best ideas. I might not always have all the answers. Also, you want a wife, a virtuous woman, a good one. Fellas, when looking for a wife, look for a woman that has emotional intelligence, and not the YouTube definition of emotional intelligence, not the weaponized definition of emotional intelligence. See, a lot of time with a lot of ladies on YouTube, not all, but far too many, and a lot of weird dudes, their idea of emotional intelligence is someone acting however they want towards you, and then you not reacting to what they did. If somebody offends the hell out of you and you go off, you supposed to be the one with no emotional intelligence because you didn't let someone step all on your nuts, right? They like to use emotional intelligence as a way to control. Emotional intelligence pretty much turned to shut up and dribble. Shut up and take that. The thing about emotions, there's nothing wrong with feeling and having emotions. Emotions are human. We live in a society now where people try to take emotions away from men. Now, you don't have to be emotional. Have emotions, show emotionals, don't be emotional. And the difference is having emotion is good. However, you have to control and regulate your emotions. And that's where emotional intelligence comes into place. So, emotional intelligence is the skills of understanding and managing your own emotions, plus recognizing and influencing the emotions of others to build better relationships. You reduce stress, you navigate challenges, effectively involving self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, and social skills. You notice it says self-awareness, self-regulation, managing your own emotions. Now it's important you recognize other people's stuff because you got to understand emotions. But the problem with this emotional intelligence shit, the only part people like to focus on is you recognizing and understanding their 39 emotions in one day.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
Often, my sisters, my women, my ladies of all races and nationalities, ethnicities, whatever, they think they have more emotional intelligence because they show and feel more emotions. No, you're more emotional. Just because you feel 9 emotions in 2 hours doesn't mean you have more emotional intelligence. It might mean you have more emotional aptitude or something. I don't know. It might mean you have a more emotional spectrum, but it doesn't mean more emotional intelligence. Feeling a bunch of emotions and basking in every emotion in every situation, because they like to say men don't have more emotional intelligence because we don't react to everything sometimes. They like to say we robots or blah blah blah. But the reality is emotional intelligence, the skill of understanding and managing your own emotions. So if you're not seeing my emotions all the time, that means I'm managing them. So based off the real actual definition, most men, not all, because there's some bitch ass niggas out there that act just like women. Most men are actually the ones with emotional intelligence, because in most cases, not all, we better at managing our own emotions. have more self-awareness and self-regulation. Have you ever noticed in fights and arguments that once a woman get mad, in a lot of cases, she had no boundaries? Let's talk about that. When you're looking for a wife, how to identify a wife, it's important to see how she argues.
Oh my God!
It's important as hell how she argues. Is she one of those people that once she gets mad, she feels that once you have offended her, once you have crossed her, once you have wronged her, that opens up the floodgates for her to say any and everything under the sun.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
Once she's mad, that means she gets to become a full-fledged.
You a bitch. You know why you a bitch? Cause I said so. You just a bitchy bitch. You a bitch McBitcherson. You a bitch McBitch. I go to McDonald's and get a McBitch because you a bitch. Bitch.
If that's the case, that ain't somebody you want to mess with. Because emotional intelligence is, even when you're mad, you have to remember that you're supposed to love this person, care about this person. So even though you mad, you have enough emotional intelligence to know that if I say this, there's no coming back from that.
Oh hell no!
So yeah, sorry, I got a text. My apologies. So yeah, man, how she argued is crucial. Oh, by the way, this off subject. Today's my daughter's birthday. My baby girl's turning 11 years old. She's a big girl. She ain't a teenager yet, thank God. But that's my baby. Her birthday is on today. She's having a birthday party tomorrow. We're going to Painting with a Twist. I don't remember what painting they're painting, but she got 7 of her friends, and I'm gonna bring some pizza and some soda, and they're gonna have fun, listen to music, and let the instructor guide them how to paint this picture. Today she want to go to dinner. She wants some African food. She's 10 years old now, turned 11 she's 11 today. And but before that, she told us she wants some fufu and something else. But whatever, it was African food. She want to go fufu, that stuff you eat with your hands. I don't want to eat with my hands. I don't like doing that. But yeah, we going to some African restaurant. Because she has a very she's just now 11, but she has a very distinguished palate. She like her steaks medium rare. She loves sushi. And I guess she likes fufu.
Oh my God!
But anyway. But yeah, how low a woman is willing to go when she's mad is crucial when picking a wife. And even if it's not directed towards you, pay attention when she argued with her sister. Pay attention when she argued with her brother. Pay attention when she argued with her mother. Pay attention when she argued with her friends, if she has some. And how low she's willing to go in that argument can be, and probably 9 times out of 10 will be, how low she would go with you if y'all got into an argument.
Damn!
And as a man that's been married 22 years, no matter how mad we get in here, when you love, honor, and respect somebody, we understand the concept of words can't be put back into the jar. I say again, words can't be put back. Once they out, they out. Like, me and my wife don't have some extreme arguments, but she never called me a bitch ass nigga. She don't even talk like that. First of all, that's a whole nother story, but I wouldn't even recommend marrying a woman that curse like that. I'm real picky. But we talking about wife and virtual wife. Let me just tell you some of my selection shit. First of all, I'm 5'7", 184 pounds. Clearly not fat, but I'm not skinny either. This is me. My wife is 5'3" or 4, 136 to 38 pounds. It fluctuates. She was like 110, 105 to 110 pounds when I met her. I was like 130 when I met her. And I did that purposely because I knew I wanted kids and I understand how biology works. So at the 4 kids later, she only 100, because people are going to gain weight from kids and age. And my point is that I always suggest for guys, if you're young, if you're older, I understand she already got her grown woman weight. So you just got to find somebody that work out. Now, some guys like bigger women. And I seen plenty, like Jill Scott is fucking amazing to me.
You can't make this shit up.
She's juicy. Hey, what? So I'm not out here body shaming, fat shaming, or nothing. It's some bigger women that I find highly desirable. And it's plenty of guys that's into it. But you should also look into certain things just for your overall health. With a lot of weight comes a lot of health conditions, but this is not that show. But I do plan to do a nutrition and fitness show type thing later because I work out like 3 to 4 or 5 times a week, but I really finna like really get deeper into my workout bag. Because not because I want to just look a certain way per se. Like me and my wife work out regularly, so of course that enhances our sex life because we just find each other like way more attractive. But which is very important. But also, I just want to start doing more fitness and workout type content because for the overall health benefits. So let's talk about equally yoked. When looking for a virtual woman or looking for a wife in general, y'all got to make sure y'all equally yoked on key components. It doesn't have to be that way, but the more equally yoked, the more shit y'all on the same wavelength about, the smoother things gonna go.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
Like I see people marry people of different political views and then act surprised and shocked and awe when some major political shit going down and they can't stand each other. I've seen people marry people. I've seen people that's Christians try to marry fucking agnostic or atheist people and then act surprised when they bumping heads. Like for me, I'm conservative. I'm not far right though, but I am conservative. I couldn't marry a far left liberal. At this point in life, I can't even stand having conversations with a far left liberal. So I honestly couldn't marry a liberal. Now I can marry a left-leaning conservative, and that's my wife. She's a left-leaning conservative.
Oh my God!
I'm a middle conservative, not far right, not left-leaning, in between the left and the right of conservative. So for the most part, our opinions always align, and that's crucial. Now, in a marriage, do y'all always got to be on the same wavelength? No. But the more y'all on the same wavelength, the less bumps in the road. And just like driving down the road, don't you want your fucking, road in life to be as smooth as possible? Do you want to fucking go through life on a road of marriage? Got you hitting all these bumps. Oh, there you go. Oh. You don't want to fucking, go through your marriage like that.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
Yo, let's talk about something as we talking about how to identify a wife. Let's talk about something called little red flags. We all know the big red flags, right? All 5 kids, 5 baby daddies. Tattoos on her forehead. Tattoos on her face. Used to strip. We all know the big red flags. But let's talk about the little red flags. Small things that seem small and insignificant, but are very important when choosing your partner. But before we get to that, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. It doesn't cost you a penny, a nickel, or a dime. It is 100% free. But if you want to support the channel, the cash app's right there, $UncB Streaming. Anything would be greatly appreciated and go directly to funding the channel for the various apps and software that I utilize to give you the content that I'm presenting to you today. Also, it's a link pinned at the top of the YouTube to super chat or donate. It's very user-friendly. Use PayPal or your debit card. It's not a scam, not a hustle, not enough. That's the official website. Check it out. Hit that link and donate. People have done it before, and it's no problem. If you can't do that or don't want to do that or can't afford to do that, the like, subscribe, or comment is 100% free. It don't cost you nothing.
Oh, just give me my money. Just give me my money. Okay. Give me my money. Okay. Give me my money.
Without further ado, back to the show. What time is it? Because I gotta take a shower and change so we can go to this restaurant. So with that said, I think we are going to get to this video. It's called 7 Virtues of the Proverbs 31 Woman, aka the Virtuous Woman. We have this lovely, beautiful black sister that's gonna run us through that. She doesn't look like my wife because my wife is a lighter skinned woman, and but she reminds me of my wife. Her whole aesthetic, from the natural hair to the conservative clothes, even the big earrings. My wife loved costumes, jewelry type stuff. She got like diamond earrings, real diamonds, and all that stuff. but she also like little earrings like that because you can find all those different that kind of stuff to go with different outfits. See how she got that kind of green in that to match her shirt, and then the teal and all that stuff kind of go together. But yeah, the hairstyle, the minimum makeup, yeah. But anyway, we're gonna let this sister break down. This ain't no Bible study type stuff. I just want to make it clear y'all understand that regardless of if you're not religious or not, these things are still the things you should look for when looking for a wife, somebody you want to start a life and a family with. When I play this, let me know if y'all hear the audio or not, please.
Anyone can put on a Proverbs 31 mask, but acting like a Proverbs 31 woman and being a Proverbs 31 woman are two totally different things. Hello, beloved, and welcome to Beloved Women with me, Christina Patterson, where we encourage, equip, and empower women in the love of Jesus Christ and the truth of God's word. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe so that you never miss a video. And for those,
please subscribe. Matter of fact, let me make sure I go back
can put on
and subscribe. Beloved Women with Christina Patterson. So please subscribe to this sister if you into this kind of stuff, or if you want more information as a woman. She got 85K subscribers. She's pretty sure she got plenty of content. Hell, this video from 4 years ago. So if you like looking for some positive stuff about marriage and relationships or things of that nature, this might be the place for you. If you're a lady out there, your female circle ain't what it needs to be, come check this out and just watch some positive content sometimes instead of like the weird stuff. And because you know, life is all about the energy you bring around you.
anyone can put on a Proverbs 31 mask, but acting like a Proverbs 31 woman and being a Proverbs 31 woman are two totally different things. Hello, beloved, and welcome to Beloved Women with me, Christina Patterson, where we encourage, equip, and empower women in the love of Jesus Christ and the truth of God's word. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe so that you never miss a video. And for those of you returning, welcome back. The Proverbs 31 woman that we read about in Proverbs 31, verses 10 through 31, is a mother, wife, entrepreneur, and more. But these titles do not make up the sum value of who she is as a woman. And in the same way, your value is rooted in much more than what you do or what people call you. Although many have defined the Proverbs 31 woman by what she does and the titles she holds, it is more important to take a deeper look into the character of who she is as a woman to truly be encouraged by her example. So even if your laundry is not folded, hot dinner isn't on the table every night at exactly 6:00 p.m., and your home isn't Pinterest perfect, please believe me when I tell you the example of the Proverbs 31 woman is not out of your grasp. Here's the thing. Let's say you do all those things and check off all those Proverbs 31 boxes, but you're mean, selfish, and greedy.
Oh my God!
Yo, she said it, not me. Just want to add, throw this out there. But yeah, people be going through it like a checklist. They read it, they check off all the boxes, but think that instantly gonna make you a good person. That's not how it works. That's why we got the other thing in the title, what constitutes a good woman? A lot of people like to say they're good women, but what do the consumers of the product, which is you, what do they think? It's like I got this iPhone. Apple can say this is a good product, but it don't matter if Apple said it's a good product if all of us thought it was a trash product. Of course, the owner of said product, the person that's trying to get said product purchased, is going to say it's good, i.e., I'm a good woman. But what do your last 5 exes have to say about you? What do your close friends and family have to say about you? That's the real question. And that's the kind of stuff when you're dating, you got to keep your antennas up and really pay attention. See, I know she fine, she pretty, and she got a big old booty, right? But you can't get fully distracted by that when you're dating her. You can't have your nose wide open and your brain turned off. You have to be paying attention to how she act with friends, families, how she act with wait staff. You know, if a person that's mad to the waiters and waitresses, when they mean to them, trust me, they will be mean to you when you do something they don't like. That's a prime example to a good identifier if the person is a trash person with how they behave with people in the service industry.
We can't make this shit up. We can't make this shit up.
Maybe run it back of 10 seconds, then we get back to it.
You, the example of the Proverbs 31 woman is not out of your grasp. Here's the thing. Let's say you do all those things and check off all those Proverbs 31 boxes, but you're mean, selfish, and greedy. Would it matter that you only looked like the Proverbs 31 woman? Anyone who puts in the effort can fake a Proverbs 31 life and put on a godly veneer. But God is looking.
That's them born again virgins, yo. I said this before and I'll say it again. I think the last stop for a 304 is the church. They often find God after they done tapped out on dingalings.
Oh my God.
Yo, if I'm lying, let me know. They often find God and they looking for a man of God and blah, 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 after letting demons, after years of letting demons fill their ass with semen. They got demon semen in them.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
Full of demon semen, and now trying to get a man of God. It's diabolical.
More from his daughters. In 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7, God says, "For the Lord sees not as man sees. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart." Anyone can put on a Proverbs 31 mask, but acting like a Proverbs 31 woman and being a Proverbs 31 woman are two totally.
Just want to add to her point. Yes, acting like one and being one is different. And it's up to us as men to pay attention to that and know if she is one or if she's acting like one. Because honestly, to tell the truth, if you actually are one, I'm just going to say it, yo. I'm just going to say it. Fuck it. Let's news break. If you were actually living as a Proverbs 31 woman your whole adult life, you would not make it to 35 and still be single.
Oh my God.
Simple as that. And I'm not even gonna say, well, what if she didn't want to get married? If you was living there as a Proverbs 31 woman, you definitely want to get married. So that little point, that little deflection tactic is irrelevant in this situation. Not saying you're trash if you make it to 35 and still not married. I'm gonna even say 30. Not saying you're trash, but you might not be all that you think you are. You might not be the good woman that you claim to be. Just like in my book, Truth and Reality, Undefeated the Gender War, available on Amazon. Truth and Reality, Undefeated the Gender War. Type it in just like that. Truth and Reality, Undefeated the Gender War, available on Amazon and Kindle, audiobook, and paperback. I think it's chapter 12. It's called Good Products Don't Collect Dust. And the simple fact is, good products don't collect dust. Good products be off the shelf way too long to get dust. So if you make it to a certain age and you never been a fiance or a wife or nothing, no man never committed to you or taking you serious. And I'm not talking little boyfriend, girlfriend stuff, because this is not middle school. If you haven't been a fiance or wife or something, and you in your fucking 30s, you might not be a good product, because good products don't collect dust. Good products get taken off the shelf immediately. Good products are in high demand. So, not saying you don't stand a chance, but you're gonna have to accept some things and accept some truth and accept some reality. So if you fucking 38, child like Dr. Cheyenne Bryan, she 42, no husband, no kids, want to act like she's such a great product. How, Sway? How you 42 and actually pretty and fine, yet you still without husband or child? And you supposed to be a good product? Nah, the math not mathing, because good products don't collect dust. You'll never see PS5s and Xboxes just sitting on there with a 2-inch layer of dust on it.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Because they're good products and people want them. But let's get back to the video.
Put on a Proverbs 31 mask, but acting like a Proverbs 31 woman and being a Proverbs 31 woman are two totally different things. In my study of the Proverbs 31 woman, I have discovered 7 characteristics of who she is on the inside that makes her a truly virtuous woman. Characteristics not only limited to a certain type of woman, what she has or even what she does, but any woman who chooses to live according to these virtues. If you've ever felt less than a woman because you're not the picture perfect homemaker that we all assume biblical womanhood requires and the Proverbs 31 woman exemplifies, then stay with me, because I hope that learning about these 7 virtues of the Proverbs 31 woman will help you realize that her example is not out of your grasp. The first virtue is dignity. A wife of noble character who can find. She is worth more than rubies. Proverbs 31:10. The Proverbs 31 woman is a woman of dignity. Not only is she worth
A woman of dignity. Goes back with what I said earlier. Reputation, reputation, reputation. You have to protect your reputation. A person with a bad reputation, she's just known for doing bad things, fucked up things out there in the streets, getting cracked by everybody, getting slutted out, etc., sliding down strip poles. That's a woman without dignity. you're not gonna have a bad reputation and have dignity at the same goddamn time.
Oh my God.
But let's get back to it.
Can find. She is worth more than rubies. Proverbs 31:10. The Proverbs 31 woman is a woman of dignity. Not only is she worthy of praise, but she knows her value. It's important for a woman to know her worth and the value she adds to her home, community, and world. A woman will either add to her home or take away from it. However, a woman cannot add value to anything if she does not realize that she is in fact valuable herself. The second virtue is patience.
So let me talk about this having value thing. Knowing your value is crucial, but at the same time, you have to be realistic about your value.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
You have to have the ability to give yourself an accurate, proper, realistic assessment of your value. And I've noticed in today's society, that's where a lot of people drop the ball. Hence the I'm a good woman all the time from people with 3 kids, 3 baby daddies, used to mess with drug dealers and gangbangers in their 20s. They 38 and ain't married. And they cuss like sellers, but they would say they're a good woman. So it's important for you to know your value, but you have to make sure that this value that you know correlates, resonates, and connects to reality. So if the value you give yourself isn't a reflection of how you live and move in real life, then knowing said value is not going to help you be a virtuous woman, look like a wifey by any man that knows what to look for in a wife.
Is patience. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. Proverbs 31, verses 13.
As she said this, we're going to look at this real quick because this contradicts a lot of the YouTube misinterpretations of traditional man in the Proverbs 31 woman. They're like, I'm a Proverbs 31 woman. I want a traditional man. The Bible says you got to protect and provide. And they took that as, they took the Bible saying the man should protect and provide for the woman in a way of saying that women shouldn't work.
You can't make this shit up.
But if you look at this from the same Bible that they said a woman shouldn't work, in the Bible says a man got to blah, blah, blah. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She considers a field and buys it out of her earnings. She considers a field and buys it out of her earnings. She plants a vineyard. So when they be talking this biblical shit and the Bible says the man's supposed to protect and provide, yes, protecting and providing doesn't mean soft life.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
The Bible don't never say you protect and provide and she kicks her feet up and does nothing. Because even back in the biblical days, people understand, just like now, there was a 1%. It's only all throughout history, it has only been a select group of men where their women could literally do nothing.
Oh my God.
And all throughout history, those men usually had a whole bunch of women. The kings and the dukes and the nobles, the ones that could afford for their women to do nothing, often had additional wives, concubines, etc. And it's still the same way now. Not saying it's 100% an absolute, but if you want to sit on your rump shaker and not do nothing and get completely provided for, you're probably going to share that man, because they did back in the biblical days. Just saying. Why do you think one dude had 90 kids? It didn't show come from one woman.
You can't make this shit up.
Y'all, hey, listen, it's in the Bible. Cats be having 60, 70 kids. You think they came from one woman?
Oh my God.
Fuck out of here.
And 16. The Proverbs 31 woman is a woman of patience. The scripture tells us that she considers a field and buys it, implying her willingness to patiently make the best decisions. Any good is not only worth the hard work, but it's also worth waiting for. The beautiful life that the Proverbs 31 woman built did not happen overnight. And
what's he describing is those women that say they don't want to build with a man. Any woman that wants the man already to be Mr. 666, but claims to be a good woman or Proverbs 31 woman is a goddamn lie. Because again, we just saw an example of that. The Proverbs 31 woman definitely works and definitely spends her own money. But there are like at least a dozen other examples in the whole Proverbs theme about the woman working. But yeah, if you don't have the patience for things to grow, to build with the said man, you're not a virtuous woman. If a man gotta already be there, if a man gotta be at the finish line for things to work out for you, nah.
plants a vineyard. Proverbs 31 verses 13 and 16. The Proverbs 31 woman is a woman of patience. The scripture tells us that she considers a field and buys it, implying her willingness to patiently make the best decisions. Any good is not only worth the hard work, but it's also worth waiting for. The beautiful life that the Proverbs 31 woman built did not happen overnight, and neither will yours. The third virtue of the Proverbs 31 woman is diligence. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task.
There go that work again. There go that word work again. Not only do she's working vigorously. And her arms are strong for her task with an S on it, plural, which means multiple ones.
Oh my God.
So any woman that's talking that a man's supposed to 100% provide, and the Bible says a man's supposed to protect and provide, not only does she not understand the Bible, she's weaponizing the Bible to fucking get you to do what she wants that's in her benefit. And clearly she's not a virtuous woman, because if she said that, she don't understand, nor is she remotely living by it. So if you're looking for a wife, a wifey, a good woman, a virtuous woman, any chick that's anti 50-50, you can go ahead and let her figure it out on her own. Any chick that's anti putting in on it, even if it ain't 50-50, do 70-30. If you got it like that, 70-30 is fine. 60-40 fine. 80-20 is fine. But she got to be willing to put in on it proportionally to what she's bringing in.
Proverbs 31, verse 17. The Proverbs 31 woman is a woman of diligence. She is a hard worker, but don't confuse her diligence with busyness. Her work is not only fruitful, but it also makes her stronger. The fourth virtue of the Proverbs 31 woman is generosity. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. Proverbs.
And you know we're not getting a lot of that these days. How often do we hear, I ain't spending nothing on no man? Or watch out for the women that say, I'll buy my man stuff. We get it. That's your man. Y'all already made it. But the thing is, those same women want you to spend money and buy them stuff just while y'all dating. When y'all not official, they want your wallet open. So notice you got to listen to how they talk when they talk about these kind of things. Of course, this your long-term boyfriend, fiance, or husband now, so of course you'll spend a little money on them. Some don't want to do that. Let's make that clear. But when women be talking about relationships and marriage and protecting and providing, I don't hear a lot of generosity coming from their direction. It's usually all about what he's supposed to do for her and should do for her and things of that nature. And the stuff she would do for him, you know, cooking, cleaning, all that stuff, they act like they don't benefit from that themselves. And they act like those are things that the man can't do for himself, because men can cook and clean. Some of the best chefs in this country are men. And I've seen single bachelors whose house be cleaner than a lot of women houses I've been to in life. Some of the cleanest people I know actually are men. And some of the best cooks I know personally actually are men. Men ain't just rolling around in shit and starving to death because they're single. That's just not the truth. But so yeah, you gotta watch how people treat people. This falls back to when I said pay attention to how people how the woman treats people in the service industry, waiters and waitresses, etc. And also, of course, how they treat, like, even when I don't have something for the homeless or the needy, I'm not mean or rude to them. And often if I got a couple of some loose dollars in my pocket or some spare change, I just give it to them. Most of the time, you know, because of the digital money day and age, I usually don't have spare change and stuff, but I'm never rude or dismissive. Watch out for people in general, and we talking about dating and marriage right now. Watch out for women who always have their hands extended but empty. Beware of women that always got their panhandling cup out. Please, sir, may I have some gruel? You gotta pay this to do this. You know, it's a new thing going on now where women are saying they feel they should get a deposit before a man starts dating them.
Oh my God.
Just in case he wastes her time, as if his time has no value. Just be wary of women that bring up you giving them any fucking thing and y'all ain't fucking goddamn married. And a lot of women would come back and say, well, you want coochie. Sex, I'm going to say this loud and clear. Sex is an equivalent exchange. She's giving him coochie. He's giving her penis. Null and void, they cancel out. The crazy concept that when a man and a woman have sex and the man got over on or took advantage of the woman, or the woman is owed something afterwards, is insane. And any woman that thinks that way or suggests that clearly thinks that her time, energy, and body has more value than a man's time, energy, and body. Therefore, that woman don't respect man, and she's not going to respect you because she thinks she's better than you. Because when you give her the exact same thing that she gave you, some kind of way, you still owe her. And the only way that's even feasible is someone thinks they're better than you. So avoid, 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 avoid.
Proverbs 31, verse 20. The Proverbs 31 woman is a woman of generosity. With all that the Proverbs 31 woman worked for and acquired, she freely gives to the poor. She is truly blessed to be a blessing, intentionally seeking to help others. The fifth virtue of a Proverbs 31 woman is courage. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. Proverbs 31, verse 25. The Proverbs 31 woman is a woman of courage. She knows what she can control and courageously trusts God with what she cannot. She can laugh at the days to come because she is encouraged in the truth that God has ordered her steps. Because she trusts God with tomorrow, she can have peace for today. The sixth virtue of the Proverbs 31 woman is wisdom. She speaks with wisdom and faithful instruction is on her tongue. Proverbs 31, verse 26. The Proverbs 31 woman is a woman of wisdom. With God as her guiding source, she has clarity on the decisions she makes, how she lives her life, and the words she chooses.
And this is a big problem that we have in the world today, unfortunately, and especially as you get older. It's this part, this wisdom part, this good decision making. Far often than not in today's society, especially as you get older, you're going to meet a woman that suffers from CMS. Say again, CMS. Coochie mismanagement syndrome. Trademarked over here, okay? And you can just tell from how their life are that wisdom component of the virtual woman wasn't there. And a lot of them like to, you shouldn't have to get hit in the head 35 times to gain wisdom. A lot of people like to get the wisdom after the fact. You ever heard the phrase, too little too soon? No, too little too late. Yeah, too little too late. I'm sorry. It's awesome that you finally got this wisdom at 38. But that's 3 kids, 3 baby daddies later. I'm just saying. That's 30 bodies, 3 kids, 3 baby daddies later that you it shouldn't take all that. And ladies, I understand I made mistakes in my youth too. But the simple thing is, unfortunately in life, some mistakes show up on paper better than others. The mistakes I made, if you meet me, you wouldn't know unless I've told you. But if you go get knocked up by a dope boy, and then a year later get knocked up by a career criminal, I'm going to see the evidence in that mistake in the fact that your dope boy baby daddy dead, the career criminal dude in jail, and neither one of them dudes in your life. And when I'm dating you, which I wouldn't even do that, I'm going to ask where they at. So you got to understand that I get it. We all make mistakes, but some mistakes just are easier to identify and show up better on paper. So you got to make sure if you're going to make mistakes, try not to, because I expect you to be perfect, but try not to make long-term, permanent, easily identifiable, life-changing mistakes repeatedly. It's the repeatedly a part that's crucial. 5 kids and 5 baby daddies hollering about ain't nobody perfect. It's insane to me.
Oh my God.
If I pick up a hot metal skillet without the oven mitt and burn my hands, I swear to God I'll never do that shit again. Just saying.
She carefully cultivates a godly life on the eternal truth of God and not the temporary and fleeting distractions of this world. The seventh and final virtue of the Proverbs 31 woman is devotion. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Proverbs 31 verse 30. The Proverbs 31 woman is a woman of devotion. She is not praised because she is giving, be praised. Fears the Proverbs 31 woman is devotion. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Proverbs 31 verse 30. The Proverbs 31 woman is a woman of devotion. She is not praised because she is giving, a good businesswoman, or how well she takes care of her home. She's praised because she is first devoted to God. All of her other virtuous qualities are founded on her devotion to the Lord. All of these virtues, dignity, patience, diligence, generosity, courage, wisdom, and devotion represent the intrinsic values of godly womanhood. These are not what a woman looks like, but they are who she is. In the comments of this video, I'd love to hear from you. What virtue of the Proverbs 31 woman do you admire most? Also, if you are interested in learning more about
So we're gonna wrap this up. I have to go to dinner for my daughter's birthday. She done came already in here and gave me the daddy what you doing eye. And I was gonna wrap it up anyway because it is her birthday, and like I said earlier that I gotta go change real quick and freshen up and stuff. So I hope everybody learned something today. I definitely was entertained. This was actually a fun, smooth show. I just want to say love is good. Love is awesome. Marriage is great. Family is great. I'm pro-black love. As much as how they acting right now and act sometimes get on my nerves, there's nothing better for a black man than a black woman. You just got to find the right one, and you got to find the one that works for you. You got to know what to look for. You got to know what to identify when looking for a wife. You got to make sure that y'all are on the same frequency, not about everything, but about as many things as possible, and also about the most important things. Also on the same frequency about small things, because small things can become big things over time. Like, for example, if I couldn't marry a woman that likes to sleep with the TV on, because I need to sleep in silence, except for white noise. So I would either be uncomfortable or she would be uncomfortable, and over time it's going to build up resentment one way or another. I could marry a woman that has to sleep in a house at night that's 70 degrees, 70 plus degrees. The highest I can go when I'm trying to sleep is 66 degrees. And if she needs that, so either one of us gonna be hot or one of us gonna be cold. Like I said, she liked it 70 and I like it 64. I like the house at 64 at night. Let's say I had a woman that liked it at 70. The most we could probably work out, I like 64, she likes 70. We might can meet at 66 degrees, and hopefully both of us will be cool with it, no pun intended. But yeah, little stuff like that people think it's small, but it really can add up over time. So when people be like equally yoked and all that, or like red flags, they look at the big shit, but you got to pay attention to the little shit, because you're going to be with this person for years, to death do us part type shit. So if it's something like that that bothers you, it will fester over the years, and people don't consider that. Not saying you gotta find a perfect person, but yo, I gotta get out of here. I got, like I said, it's my daughter's birthday. What's up, Bon Cherry? Salute. I know you just got here. If you want to go replay gang and check it out, I think you'll be entertained. You can, if you don't agree with me, you can even review it and talk shit about me. But I think I made sense for the most part. With that said, we're gonna get up out of here.
Type shit.
Stop playing with me, Dre. DJ K.
Come on, I'm doing up shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with up shit. Type shit. Activities. I'm doing up shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with up shit. Type shit. Activities. Posted up on the island with a bitch. They call me cause I ain't on that dumb shit. Yeah, I'm rich, but act broke with a bitch. Duval day, I really do it for the kids. Getting checks, never gotta work a job. No Viagra, dick still get hard. I can make your auntie swipe a credit card. OG in the game, realest that you rep. Aunties get down on the floor. Show these poor ass hoes how it go. Back it up like Freak Week 94. Is she under 24? It's a no. Come on, I'm doing up shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with up shit. Type shit. Activities. I'm doing up shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with